I love the workbook and the program because it really helps the students to make positive choices. There's a lot of negative environmental things that we have to fight in life, that we're battling every day for the students. And so this workbook really helps them to just see the value of positive choices, for thinking outside the box more as a teenager. I don't think they're used to thinking very much larger than this circle. And so I like this because it challenges them to think about their future, 30 and 40 years from now. In my health book, it's not very common for students to talk to their parents about their homework, et cetera, but I really think this workbook challenges them to speak and have conversations with their parents. It's something that I talk to them about on a daily basis, and the value of wise choices and where does wisdom come from those who've been through those experiences before, and we don't have to go through hard times when we listen to the value of other wiser people. This workbook challenges them to do that, to take it home, to interact with their parents, to have those kind of conversations that may not be easy without a medium of the workbook who targets questions to ask your parents and see what they have to say about this as well. So it kind of sparks those conversations. We have a teacher parent night every year, and when I speak to the parents about this book, it's usually after about a month into school when we have that. And every time I talk to the parents, the ones who've already brought the workbook home to speak to their parents about are thrilled about it. The others that didn't know that they were supposed to talk to their children about it have big smiles on their faces, because now they have an excuse to really talk about their work at school and not be on the phone or just silent conversations sometimes at dinner and stuff. Yeah, one of the things that I've always done is I did a timeline prior to using the workbook and talk about where we're at in life and how much life we have in front of us if all goes well, and making healthy choices. And then when I found the workbook and they had the mountaintops and valleys that were already lined out, it really went right along with my philosophy and my curriculum that I used in school, and I was able to really interact more with my students. I love the way that they break it down also, not just from 0 to 80, but they also break down that time period between 15 and 30 years old and what amazing choices take place in our life at that time that will reflect the rest of our lives and our choices that we make then. So that little peaks and valleys were very important for us to discuss. And students are just raising their hand left and right, talking about the impact of those choices. So I really enjoyed that. Oh, super easy. To me, it was, went again, like right along with our curriculum, and it was one of the best supplemental resources that I've ever seen, that I was able just to open up the book, the workbook that is, and to be able to read what they were asking the students. I'm like, wow, this goes right along with decision-making model that we have in our textbook. So I was able to just use this as an easy supplemental resource, so that once we got finished with any of the textbook that we have to cover, I was able to give them the supplemental work, and it was extremely beneficial for the students to help them remember and learn the material required in our textbooks. These workbooks were very easy to implement as a supplemental material for our textbook. So the decision-making model that I use in my textbook, the workbook went right along with that and coincided. So I was able to just talk to the students about that. When you finish your textbook work, please take the workbook home, or you can do it if you finish early. And it was extremely, extremely helpful. I first heard about the workbooks in our physical education pre-service training. Our administrator over physical education actually introduced us to these workbooks, and I was thrilled when I found out that we were able to use these. So not only were the workbooks easy to implement, but they were also easy for me to order, and it did not take long for them to arrive. If I was short, I was able to make one email or phone call, and they were there by the next week. And that was unbelievable to me, because sometimes we have to wait a long time in our school systems to obtain things. But these workbooks were readily available, and I was extremely grateful that Our administration allowed us to use these as a supplemental resource because my children, my students loved the workbooks, and like I said before, it really created and sparked a lot of conversations from being able to use those. One of the other things that I really enjoyed about the workbook is that they come with a teacher resource, and a lot of times our planning periods and things are taken up by a lot of other meetings, so we don't have a whole lot of time. The workbook is so teacher friendly, so student friendly, that it's really laid out for you, and there's other resources like questionnaires and surveys, so I did not find it hard at all to implement. I really enjoyed it because it was super easy on my time, super easy on my planning to be able to use this, and they really just took you step by step to implement it. And once I did it the first year, I had it down like that, and now I have it memorized. Not only did I love these workbooks, but also my students really enjoyed them, as well as the parents enjoyed them, and I had a great time implementing them because it was super simple and easy and created unbelievable conversations in my classroom.